Hey guys, this is Everett Hornbostel again from Cornerstone Community Church up in Mobridge, South Dakota. Just a few things as we look forward to seeing you guys come up here this summer. Just some of the ways that the Lord moved to get me to South Dakota and my family up here. In 2010, I took a mission trip with SBU to the Pine Ridge Reservation. I spent a couple years doing ministry work there with a ministry group there. The missions department at SBU, we had a little bit of a falling out with the ministry at Pine Ridge, and so we kind of pursued some other ministry opportunities and landed on the Cheyenne River Reservation, which is where we've been since 2013. And some of the different work that we've done primarily has been feeding distributions or food distributions, particularly in one community called Cherry Creek. But we've also worked in Cherry Creek and also in another community called Eagle Butte to do some different service type projects. And these have been like building a ramp or putting up a clothesline or something like that. We have a team coming up from SBU this May that might be working on putting up a fence for someone in Cherry Creek and possibly putting a roof over someone's porch. Those are two things that I know that are needed in Cherry Creek at this point. I don't know if 100% for sure that the SBU group is going to be able to get that done. They're a small team of about 8, but the Lord can do a lot with a small amount. So we're looking forward to seeing what the Lord's going to do there. And also with you guys as you come up here. Some of the different projects that we have going on in Mobridge this summer, the church is approved to put a metal roof on the parsonage and also on the garage. So that is a task that we're going to take on this summer. And probably if some of you guys are interested in helping us out with that, that'll be a project that we'll put you guys on when you're here in July. And the idea is we're going to put a metal roof over the top of the shingles that are there and vent it through the ridge, which I'm hoping will keep the snow from blowing in onto stuff in my garage when we have these 45-mile-an-hour winds plus snow. We are currently recovering from such an event. Started on Tuesday night this past week. We had some snow hit, and it snowed clear through until mid-morning on Friday. Some reports say that we got 8 inches of snow. Other reports say that we got like 25 inches of snow. It's really hard to say because the winds blew it all around. Yesterday when I was trying to leave to come to up to North Dakota for a men's retreat, I walked out and I was going to shovel my wife's car out so she can have access to leave for work, and we had a snow drift that was about 4 feet high and about 6 feet wide. I realized that there's absolutely no way that I'm going to dig that out on my own. So I called one of our church members and asked him to bring a bobcat over and dig us out, and that was incredibly helpful for us there. Anyway, so on outside of the snow being a fun aspect, especially since it's April, and I understand that at least in Southwest Missouri, you guys have been having, or they've been having weather somewhere in the neighborhood of in the mid 80s. So I kind of missed that a little bit. I'm not going to miss the humidity, that's for sure. But the extra thing that we're wanting to do this summer, and hopefully partner with you guys to do this, and it's going to be a VBS. We want to be able to do that, and hoping that will be a great way for the church to connect with the community a little bit more. I would like to see our kids ministry exist. Right now we don't have that. We have a couple families in the church that have some small kids, but we really don't have anything going specifically for them, and I would like to see that change. Here in the next few weeks, we're going to start teaching Taekwondo. My son and I are out of the basement of the church. We got approval to do it there, so just trying to figure out some of that legal stuff to get it done and make it happen. And part of that is I have to come up with $1,200 in a pocket to pay for the insurance for the school before I can get a loan to be able to then buy the equipment that I need to start the classes. So that's kind of a struggle that I'm running into right now. But I think the Taekwondo is going to be one way that we can connect with the community. I'm hoping to have church members that are involved, probably not in classes, unless they absolutely want to, which is perfectly fine and cool that they want to do that. But being there to interact with families, particularly parents, when their kids are involved in the Taekwondo class. And I think that that's going to be a good way for our church to interact with people in the community we normally wouldn't interact with. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Just got to figure out all the fine details and come up with the funding. But really look forward to seeing you guys come up here. I mean, like I said, I fell in love with South Dakota way back in 2010 when I went on a mission trip to get a credit so I could graduate from SBU. But the Lord moved in such a way that my heart broke for the Lakota people. And I've worked with them ever since. And, we're still going out to Cherry Creek every 6 weeks to do the food distributions with Feeding South Dakota. So, that's something that's going to continue. I've made some good friendships in Cherry Creek, and one of my friends, Marino, became a believer September, October of last year. One of the trips that I took out to Cherry Creek on my own, I had a chance to talk with him and share the gospel with him, and he professed faith in Christ at that point. So I'm celebrating that. That's a big move. We've been talking to Marino for, at that point, just over 5 years. So he's made some steps in previous conversations that made us think that, yeah, he's really close to actually making a decision. And I got to talk to him, and he did that. So, building relationships with people is a big deal, especially with the Lakota people. They know that church groups come, and they're perfectly fine with it. But the people that they really connect with are the people that keep coming back, and the people that come back at weird times. Summer mission trips are awesome. Everybody goes to South Dakota in the summer because it's warm and it's vacation time and kids are off school and people can take off work and all that. When trust is really built, and I think that we've perhaps have gotten to this point with the folks in Cherry Creek, we go in the winter time when it's uncomfortably cold. We're still going. We had 47 days of sub-zero temperatures, and one of our trips was during that time. Being outside in the cold, handing out food when it's super cold is not fun, but that builds trust with the people in the community. So that's something that we're trying to continue to work on. But we'd like to introduce you to some different folks that we work with, and we'll see what other kind of opportunities we can come up with. Hard to say between now and July what kind of different things can come up with. In the meantime, feel free to search me out on Facebook. I'm there. And also our church is there. If you can search Cornerstone Community Church in Mobridge and find it there, or the shortcut is mobridge.church. You can also find the Taekwondo school, Mobridge Taekwondo, and that's about it. So we'll look forward to interacting with you guys more as time draws closer. Thanks.